Hey Dennis, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Thanks. Coach was talking about third down drills and working red zone type stuff. For you, what's been kind of the takeaway so far through the beginning of camp when he was talking about just learning the offense, number one, but then getting into more specific drills that I know you couldn't get into in the spring as a quarterback.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that we've had a lot of time to really install the offense and put in red zone and third down. So we've seen it a ton on paper and on actual film. But getting out there and getting a defense in there is a little different. So I mean, the first read could be something in the back of the end zone, but the way the defense plays it, it could be completely different. So I think just getting the defense out there and feeling them out and knowing that you're not just doing routes on air, just throwing to your brother in the backyard when you're at home. It's a little different.
We'll go next to Julian Benbow.
Yeah, what's going on?
Not too much. Good to be back.
Good to see you. I think obviously the how do you guys respond to another more rumblings that may or may not be a season? How do you stay focused?
I mean, I think the underlying message that Coach Hafley's been is just that we didn't have much of a spring. What we have of a fall, we got in the summer, we got to take advantage of. These guys are just really happy to be back, and all are super excited to be playing football again. Putting the pads on for the first time today was just a good feeling, and just going forward, just getting better each day, and whatever happens, and we just got to be ready to roll whenever it calls.
We'll go next to Trevor.
Hey Dennis, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Good. So I'm just curious your impressions of Phil and just what it's like kind of competing against him and getting to know him over the past few weeks.
Yeah, I was looking forward to getting to know him a lot in the spring, and that didn't really happen, but just because how short it was. But over the summer, we've been having a lot of extra meeting time over the spring with Zoom stuff. Spent a lot of time virtually together, and these last couple of weeks been getting to know each other. It's been great. It's been working hard. He's a great competitor, a great guy to have in the room, and pushes me to get better. And I just can hope that I can push him to be better. And whatever happens. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to compete and a lot of fun to be back.
Can you describe personally just what you did during the quarantine period just to work on your craft? You mentioned your brother. Was that a legitimate example, or was that just a figure of speech?
Oh no, that was a legitimate example. He was had his gloves on, his old cleats from high school, and was running routes in the backyard. So that was legitimate. Had some friends when we were able to do the same thing. So it was a full team effort, and I thank them a lot. But no, it was tough at first. Obviously a little depressing to be home. But once that kind of settled in, we were kind of had a path of what I wanted to do. Took some time off throwing, but then was able to ramp it up and work out. And not much changed for me besides not being here. It was tough being away from the guys, but nothing really changed throwing wise or workout wise or anything for me that much.
We'll go next to AJ Black.
Hey Dennis, how's it going?
Pretty well.
Good. Now you had almost a whole season to start last year. You were thrown in. Has that changed how you approach summer camp, or do you kind of go in with the same approach that you would last year when you weren't starting?
I'd like to say it was the same approach. You're always got to prepare as you're the starter. I think this year is a little different with the new offense, knowing in that I really got to be on top of everything schematic wise. I think last year I had that foundation from years prior. So this year I think my off season was a little different in terms of learning the offense and getting with Coach Signetti and the other guys to really fine tune everything in preparation for the season. But in terms of playing, it's a comfort thing. It's knowing that I've been in there before, and the jitters are out. The whole fresh start thing is real, and I gotta when playing, it's a big experience thing, and I think having those games under my belt are going to be really beneficial down the road.
We'll go next to Andy.
Hey Dennis, a lot of guys have been talking about how fun this new offense is to work in. They also said it's kind of challenging too to kind of get a grasp of that, and you were just saying that a few seconds ago too. So what's been the most challenging aspect of this new offense that you've had to learn?
I don't know. I would just say, figuring out ways to get different guys the ball. Coach Signetti has a good way of moving pieces around, and it may be you know, it's 5 different guys running, you know, the same route in 5 different ways. And that's just a way. So it's almost a little easier on us in terms of, you know, amount of offense, but I've been, you know, working hard with the receivers and the tight ends, because I think it's harder for them to know where to line up and know which guys are where, and that's probably the most difficult thing right now.
We'll take 2 more questions, first with Julian, and then we'll wrap things up with Dan.
I'm just curious. A lot of the things last year, so many players were talking about how much they respected you already in the locker room, right? And I thought that was the cool part when you took the reins. But in a year like this, where you haven't been together as much, you got a new coaching staff, it's COVID, all kinds of things. Like, have you sort of felt more of have you had more of a sense to, like, say, to keep guys together, or speak, or be vocal, or hit guys up on Zoom, or use those things that people value? You know?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, one of the biggest things you can be is be respected. And you know, it was an honor to, you know, lead them out of the tunnel on Saturdays last year. And you know, coming into the locker room in the spring with none of those older guys in is a different feeling, and felt a little more personally responsible to you know, take the lead, and like you said, with the new coaches and the new offense, just be you know, that middleman for Coach Halfley or Coach Signetti and whatever they need from me to, you know, get the guys together, communicate to the guys. Just trying to be as open and as flexible as possible to be there for those guys. But no, I'm excited, and you know, with the whole COVID thing and just the fear of the unknown, really, just it's more of a mental positivity thing, and just kind of being that guy that guys can talk to or guys can lean on, and just, you know, kind of vibe energy off of, because you know, sometimes, especially in the summer, days get long, and you know, when we're not really sure what's going to lie ahead of us, days can drag on. So it's just kind of who I'm trying to be right now.
And we'll wrap things up for Dennis with Dan Rubin.
Dennis, someone was asking Coach earlier about about just the room, the development of the room itself, the different quarterbacks that are in there. You know, you have an interesting take. You've been around the program. You've worked with Matt, and I know Dalen and Sam. You worked with them last year too, and bringing in Phil. Just what does each guy bring into that room, and just what's it like inside the room working with all those different, you know, skill sets and different personalities too?
Yeah, the room's come a long way. It's definitely seen its fair share of guys in the past couple of years. You know, I've been through it all, seen it all, and I think this room is really coming together to be something special. You know, I didn't really have too many older guys when I was a young guy, so I'm trying to learn that leadership role just within the room itself, and trying to pick it up as it goes, and you know, taking pieces of what I've had in the past, because there was never really that older guy that was there to lead us. You know, Matt and Phil are great guys to be around, both experienced guys, both guys that know football really, really well. So it's good to bounce ideas off of them. I mean, Matt's a spark plug, always there to, you know, talk your ear off if you want it, or even if you don't want it, but he's there for that. Phil's learning his stuff, and you know, a great guy to have around. Sam and Dalen both came in the same year. So they kind of came in together, and we kind of put them as a package deal. They're really close friends, and you know, just really good guys to have around. And then even with the new guys, I mean, we have a lot of guys in this room, but 2 freshman quarterbacks that are here now, and are trying to soak up as much knowledge as you can. And I couldn't imagine being tossed into this offense right now and just feeling so overwhelmed. But they're doing a great job, and they're working hard. So that's all we can ask from them right now.
Dennis, thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
All right, appreciate you guys. Good to see you. Take care.